guys, it's time for my Project Product Graveyard update for the month of June. Most of the products I didn't actually use up, so I will be throwing out some things this month, but it's all good. I need to purge. So, first thing, the Revlon Lip Butter in Berry Smoothie. I did use this one up. There is some product left in it, but I'm not going to bother depotting it just because it's such an inexpensive product and I have like so many lip products that I need to get rid of. And then I had this Kamins Corrective Primer, and I got this in a top box last year sometime. I did manage to use this up. It is a pretty good primer. I still prefer my Smashbox to it. However, I have had this for over a year and it only has a year shelf life on it, and I did notice that over time it has kind of started to separate a little bit. When I first started using it, it didn't do this, but this time around, when I would put it on my hands and kind of rub it together, it would break up into little pieces. You know, when primers get all bally like that? It would do that at first, but once I worked it in more, it would eventually smooth out, but it was kind of a pain in the butt to apply. And I actually kept going back to my Smashbox in between, so I probably could have used this up a lot quicker than I did, but it just wasn't that enjoyable to use anymore. That's about it for things I've actually used up. The rest are kind of like, well, you'll see. If you remember, I had these 3 little mascara samples. Actually, I've lost one of them. I don't know where it went, but it probably got thrown out by accident or it's under my bed or something. But I had They're Real by Benefit, and I had It's So Big by Elizabeth Mott. And I forget what the other one I had, probably, I don't know, maybe Buxom, something like that. Anyway, but by the time I got around to bringing these back into rotation, they were all dried out. So I don't know if I had used them up and just didn't realize it before, or if it's because they were sitting around so long, but they were all dried up. So actually, these were already used up. So I guess you could say those ones are used up, but it doesn't really count because I didn't actually use them up this round. They probably should have been thrown out long ago. This Benetint stuff, that's about how much I have left. I tried, guys. I used it a couple times, but it just got so annoying. It's basically a liquid tint, and you're supposed to use it on your cheeks or your lips. It's useless on my lips, so I didn't bother using it there. On the cheeks, it's not that much better. I find it very hard to blend to give yourself a natural looking flush. It just, on me anyway, it just looks like blotches. I don't want to use any kind of tool with it because I don't want to stain my tools, but then when I use my fingers end up with stain on them. It washes off eventually, but I don't like the big mess that it makes. I know this is just a sample, so I'm not really sure what the regular packaging is like. The applicator brush that it comes with is pretty useless. It looks like a little nail polish brush. If you use that directly on your cheeks, you're going to end up with swipes of stain. If you use your fingers to take it out like this, then the product gets all up and around the top of the packaging, and then it leaks all over the place. It's a mess. It's a hassle. Do not like it. I'm throwing this out. I don't ever want to look at it again. Goodbye. The Wet n Wild Mega Last Retractable Eyeliner. Worst eyeliner I've ever used. And it's not because it's cheap. It's because it's just really bad. I have even cheaper eyeliners than this that are way better. It's actually almost pretty much used up. This is how much product is left. Just this little nubbin. And basically every time I would use this, it was so dry and I would have to use so much pressure and barely get any color that it broke like a bunch of times. So just big chunks of it would break off and I would throw it out. So pretty much used it up, but totally did not enjoy using it. But I'm really glad that I can just throw that out now. Never buy that. It's so bad. And then the Elizabeth Mott, this was a shadow stick. I actually did not care for it too much. I like the color of it. It's a nice coppery color, but the texture of it was too crumbly and I would have to sharpen it all the time because it would get super dull. And then when I would sharpen it, chunks of it would just break off. So I didn't actually finish that up. There's still a little bit left, but it just wasn't enjoyable to use. And I actually found myself forgetting all about it. The Too Faced Natural Eye Palette, which I have had, it was 2 years in January I've had this, and it only has a 1-year shelf life. It's a very popular palette. They've reformulated it now and repackaged it, but this is the original one. Comes in a cardboard thing. I think I did pretty good on using this. I used up all of Heaven and quite a bit of Silk Teddy, and then I used quite a bit of Push Up color, and then that top one there, I used a bit of that. I was really trying to use this all the way up, like other than the dark colors that I'll never be able to use up, but I just found that probably because it's too old, the texture of it is no longer very good quality. I find it creases even with a really good primer, and the shadows, when I go to pick them up with my brush, they're kind of crumbly. So I think it's really just because it's so old, and I just think it's time to say goodbye to this officially. I made a valiant effort of trying to use it, and I'm pretty proud of myself for that, but I just have my Urban Decay palettes and my Dior palette that I just want to use all the time, and I find that using this when I have those really good palettes kind of feel crappy. I don't want to use this anymore, so I'm just gonna throw this one away. For next month, I only have 4 products that I'm going to use. The first one isn't makeup, it's an eye cream, and it's the Arbonne RE9 Advanced Corrective Eye Cream. I've had this for a while, and eye cream takes a really long time to use up because you only need like a teeny tiny amount. Go back and forth between this and other eye creams, so I'm just going to concentrate on this one till it's gone. I have no idea how much is left in here because this is the old style packaging, and some of their packaging you can see through, but this one you can't really because there's actually a smaller tube inside holding the product, and then the outer side is just kind of decorative. The rest are makeup products. I have my Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. This one's in Intense Black, and this only has a 6-month shelf life, and I'm pretty sure I've had this for over a year. I'm not a huge fan of liquid eyeliner. This is a felt tip one, which is a lot more manageable for me than the liquid eyeliner that comes with the brush, but I still find it very difficult to use them. I gravitate more towards pencils or gels, so if I put this in my graveyard, I'll really focus on using that because it wasn't cheap and it's kind of a waste to just sit there and not be used. I'm actually wearing it today, so I've already started implementing that. Bought this little White Beauty lip set way back before Christmas, and it came with 4 little lip pencils. I have not been using it at all. I chose one of the colors. I'm not going to be too ambitious and choose like the whole set or something, but I chose the most wearable of the 4, and it's the Rhubarb color. And I've tried to use it a couple times, and I just always end up going back towards something else. So this is how much I have of that. They're not full size, I don't think. They're just little mini ones, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'm wearing it today. It's the most wearable of all of them. So that's the color. And then the last thing I have is not from the graveyard. It's from ancient Egyptian tombs or something. Lancome Paris Waterproof Under Eye Concealer. This thing is so old. I really shouldn't even still have this, but you know me, I just hang on to things. It was probably 2010 that I bought this. So this is 4 years old. There shouldn't be too much left in it because I did used to use this a ton back in the day. That's it for this month's Project Product Graveyard. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!